There are new developments into Operation Fast and Furious. Wiretap documents obtained by Congress suggest the Attorney General Eric Holder and perhaps the White House knew more than they've talked about or admitted about the botched gun-running sting. In a letter sent to Holder, Congressman Issa writes the following. Having seen the wiretap applications, we now know the information coming from the Justice Department has been misleading, and that must stop. He joins me now, Congressman Darrell Issa, Chairman of the House Oversight and Government Reform Committee. And sir, good morning to you.
Well, good morning, Bill, and thanks for covering exactly the verbatim, because the White House is spinning that somehow we're misleading what's in these documents that they know we can't make public because they're under seal, but they've read, we've read, and it's very clear. Plenty of people who work and continue to work for Eric Holder and are not being held accountable knew they were gun walking and knew they were continuing to gun walk.
Okay, you raised an interesting point there. This is not public information. It is your word against their word for the moment. Why are we to believe you?
Well, because I've shared all of these documents with the ranking member, made them available to both parties up and down the dais. Again, these are sealed under a federal court order for obvious reasons of the sensitivity of the details of what they discovered. But we're not interested in what they've discovered. We're interested in who signed or saw these documents, and as a result, what they knew. And what we know is that people in the Justice Department directly working for the Attorney General, political appointees, and some career professionals all knew they were gun walking, saw it in the documents, and continued to allow it to happen, and then allowed Congress to be misled for more than 10 months after a false letter and false testimony was given to Congress. That's the crux of the cover-up.
Right, too specific, you say cover-up?
Of course this is a cover-up. You know, you don't lie to Congress and then lie about lying to Congress and then lie about knowing you lied to Congress and then not fire the people who did all of that and have it be anything but a cover-up. That's really what it's become. Brian Terry's family is not getting the kind of accountability for the people who knew and allowed him to ultimately be gunned down in Arizona. That's part of it, but Congress also has a role, which is how can Eric Holder continue to lead an organization when he has people working for him that lied to Congress, are continuing to lie to Brian Terry, the Border Patrol agent who was gunned down with weapons from Fast and Furious? How do we allow that? You know, Lee Iacocca used to say, you've got to lead, follow, or get out of the way. That's the message for Eric Holder. Lead, follow, or get out of the way. And when you're Attorney General, you don't get to follow, so either lead or resign.
Two specific questions. These wiretaps, did they come out of Washington or the field office in Phoenix?
Well, as you know, whistleblowers obtain documents everywhere, but the actual signatures, the final signatures for these had to be signed by individuals in Washington.
Are they going to go after your whistleblower, your source?
We're not going to make our whistleblower available. That's been one of the most sensitive areas because some of the early whistleblowers are already feeling retribution. They're being treated horribly, particularly some of the ATF individuals. And although we can keep them from losing their job as whistleblowers, they're already feeling the retaliation of this administration as they continue to lie and cover up the action of this, and of course try to blame people at the local level. Well, in fact, we now know this was a Washington, D.C. program.
To be clear, you're saying that Eric Holder knew about the wiretaps and he was aware of all the information. Is that true?
To be clear, Eric Holder's signatures are not on the wiretaps, but individuals who report to him on a daily basis are. And that's why we're going to be talking, obviously, to the Attorney General on Thursday, but that's why we sent the letter, which was not refuted, but rather talked around about the whole question of the signatures on there and what it means.
Darrell Issa, thank you. More to be uncovered on this. Thank you for
your time
this morning.